So how do we round numbers? To show you the concept behind this number estimation technique, let me show you first how it is done in a number line. Say we want to round the number 14 to the nearest tens. We are being asked to change the number 14 into another number wherein the new number's tens digit is nearest that of the original number. We find out the nearest tens of the number 14 by imagining the number on a number line. If the number has not crossed the halfway value between the number's current tens place value and the next tens place value, then we retain the original number's tens place value. If the number, however, is on or has crossed the halfway mark, then we change it into a number with a tens place value that is higher. So let's plot where the number 14 is in our number line. So we have 10 here, and these notches that you see in our number line, these are in increments of 1. So this should be 11, this is 12, this is 13, this is 14. Next, let's determine the current tens place value and the next tens place value of 14. So for our number 14, there's the tens place. And if we write the expanded form of the number, you have 10 plus 4. So the current tens place of our number is 10, which is this one. So what's the next tens place value of our number 14? So what comes after 10? That's 20. And then we find the value that is between 10 and 20, and that is 15. After that, we determine whether the number 14 is on or has crossed the number between the two tens places, that is 15. So we see whether our number is on or has crossed the number between our place values. In this case, we can see that the number 14 is not on 15 or comes before the number 15. So what this means is our number 14 is closer to its current tens place. So the answer to the problem of rounding the number 14 to the nearest tens is 10. Let's try this concept on a few numbers. Let's round the number 13, 18, and 15 to the nearest tens. The tens place value of all these numbers are 10. Let's write the expanded form of these numbers. So for 13, you have 10 plus 3. For 18, you have 10 plus 8. And for 15, you have 10 plus 5. So you can see that their current tens place is the number 10. Next, let's determine the next place value after their current place value. And that should be 20. After that, we determine the number that is between these place values. So what is between 10 and 20? Of course, that is 15. After that, we see where our numbers are in the number line. So for the number 13, if this is number 10 and we have increments of 1, so this should be 11, 12, and this is 13. So here we can see that 13 is not on 15 or comes before 15 or is less than 15. So we can say that 13 is nearer to 10 than it is to 20. So the answer to rounding 13 to the nearest tens place is 10. So let's try 18. If this is 15, this is 16, 17, so 18 should be here. Now you can see that 18 comes after 15 or is larger than 15. So we could say that 18 is nearer 20 than it is to 10. So the answer to rounding 18 to the nearest tens place is 20. Next, for the number 15. Since 15 is right on the middle of 10 and 20, then we know that 15 is nearer to 20 than it is to 10. So the answer to rounding 15 to the nearest tens place is 20. Let's now round some numbers to the nearest 100. Let's round numbers 120, 150, and 180 to the nearest hundreds. So let's first determine the current hundreds place value of these numbers. So you see that these are ones, these are tens, this is our hundreds place. So if we write the expanded form of these numbers, you have 100 plus 20 plus 0. For 150, you have 100 plus 50 plus 0. And then for 180, you have 100 plus 80 plus 0. So here you can see that our current hundreds place for all these numbers is 100, which is this number in our number line. After that, we determine the next hundreds place for our numbers, which is 200. So 200 comes after 100. After that, we determine the number that is between 100 and 200, which is 150. So let's try to find where 150 is here in our number line. The notches here seem to be in increments of 10. So if this 100, it should be 110, 120, 130, 140, and this is 150. So this is the middle value between 100 and 200. Now let's try to find our numbers in the number line. So first for 120 should be 110, 120 over here. So this is our 120. So since you can see that 120 comes before 150 or is smaller than 150, then that means 120 is nearer to 100 than it is to 200. So the answer to rounding 120 to the nearest hundreds place is 100. Next, for 150. So since 150 is right at the center or is a value that is in between 100 and 200, then we can say that 150 is nearer to 200 as it is to 100. So the answer to rounding 150 to the nearest hundreds place is 200. And next is 180. So if this is 150, this should be 160, 170, 180. So since 180 is bigger than 150 or comes after 150 in the number line, then we know that 180 is nearer to 200 than it is to 100. So the answer to rounding 180 to the nearest hundreds place is 200.